Have you ever woken up in a cold sweat, heart pounding after dreaming you were being chased by something terrifying? Maybe a shadowy figure, a monster, or even something you can't quite describe? Or maybe you've had that classic nightmare where you're suddenly back in school, completely unprepared for a test you didn't even know you had? Nightmares can feel like our brains are torturing us for no reason. But what if I told you they're actually trying to communicate with you? That's right, your scariest dreams might be your subconscious mind's way of sending you urgent messages about your fears, unresolved emotions, or even hidden strengths you didn't know you had. Take Sarah, for example. For months, she kept having the same recurring nightmare. She was trapped in a crumbling building, desperately searching for an exit, but finding only locked doors. It got so bad that she started dreading sleep. Then one day, she realized something: her waking life felt just as suffocating. She was stuck in a job she hated, ignoring her own needs, and feeling like she had no way out. Her nightmare wasn't just random horror, it was a metaphor for how she felt in real life. Once she recognized that, she started making changes, and the nightmare stopped. That's the power of understanding what your dreams are really trying to tell you. So why do we have nightmares in the first place? From a psychological standpoint, dreams, especially the frightening ones, aren't just meaningless noise. They're part of how our brains process emotions, solve problems, and even prepare us for real-life challenges. Think of them like your mind's way of running emergency drills. If you've ever had a dream where you're being chased, for instance, psychologists suggest it might reflect a situation in your waking life where you feel threatened or like you're avoiding something important. And that naked in public dream, it often ties back to vulnerability or fear of judgment. But nightmares aren't just about fear, they can also reveal hidden strengths. Ever had a dream where you fought back against a monster or stood up to a bully? That could be your subconscious reminding you of your own resilience. Even the most disturbing dreams usually have layers of meaning, and learning to decode them can give you incredible insight into your emotions, relationships, and even your deepest desires. So how do you start interpreting your nightmares? First, pay attention to recurring themes. If you keep dreaming about drowning, ask yourself, do you feel overwhelmed in your daily life? Are you suppressing emotions that are dragging you under? Next, look at the emotions in the dream, not just the events. A dream about losing your teeth might seem bizarre, but if you felt panic in the dream, it could point to anxiety about control or aging. And don't just focus on the negative. Some nightmares are actually empowering in disguise. For example, if you dream about falling but then suddenly start flying, it might symbolize letting go of control and discovering freedom. Of course, not every nightmare has a deep meaning. Sometimes stress, late-night snacks, or even certain medications can trigger them. But if you're having frequent, intense nightmares that disrupt your sleep, it might be worth exploring further. Techniques like journaling your dreams, practicing relaxation before bed, or even lucid dreaming, where you become aware you're dreaming and can influence the outcome, can help. And if your nightmares are linked to trauma, talking to a therapist can make a huge difference. The bottom line, your nightmares aren't just random scary stories, they're a window into your subconscious. By learning their language, you can uncover fears you didn't know you had, resolve emotional conflicts, and even tap into inner strength you've been ignoring. So the next time you wake up from a bad dream, don't just shake it off. Ask yourself, what is my mind trying to tell me? The answer might change how you see yourself and your life forever. Now let's dive even deeper. Why do some people have more nightmares than others? Research shows that highly creative or empathetic individuals often report more vivid dreams and, yes, more nightmares. This might be because their brains are more active in processing emotions and scenarios even during sleep. There's also evidence that people who suppress emotions during the day are more likely to experience intense nightmares as their subconscious tries to release what they've been ignoring. Cultural influences play a role too. In some societies, nightmares are seen as spiritual messages or warnings, while modern psychology often frames them as emotional processing. But regardless of interpretation, one thing is clear: nightmares are universal. Almost everyone has them at some point, and they've been part of human experience for thousands of years. Ancient civilizations like the Greeks and Egyptians even wrote about them. What about lucid dreaming? Could it be the key to stopping nightmares? For some, yes. By training yourself to recognize when you're dreaming, you can take control of the narrative. Imagine turning a nightmare about being chased into a dream where you confront the pursuer and demand answers. Some studies suggest that lucid dreaming can reduce nightmare frequency and even help with PTSD. But whether you remember your dreams or not, one thing's certain: your subconscious is always working behind the scenes. The more you pay attention to it, the more you'll understand yourself, fears, desires, and all. So tonight, before you go to sleep, try setting an intention. If I have a nightmare, I'll look for the message in it. Who knows? The scariest dream of your life might end up being the most revealing. And if you're still skeptical, consider this. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history, from scientific discoveries to works of art, came from dreams. The structure of the benzene molecule, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, even parts of the periodic table were inspired by dreams. So the next time you have a nightmare, don't just dismiss it. Listen, your subconscious might be trying to show you something extraordinary.